Crashed? I mean, there's no other way around it. It did crash, but I don't know. I guess processing what was going on. Now, I probably lost all those accumulated charges I had on the Erendite, which I was trying to feed the damn thing. Oh well. It's not the complete end of the world. Worse things have happened in this world, trust me. Terrible things are going on in this moment as we speak somewhere else in the world. It's all good.
Hey ho, Master Witcher! You, sir, are...
Guilty as charged.
It's
Just some
a sooth...
might help.
My, we clearly think highly of ourselves. I cannot know what the Duchess has pledged to pay you, but I simply...
Sure, I'll see.
The hell is a Shelmar? Okay, so relic.
So? Well?
Problem solved. Shalmar that lived in the cave won't pester you anymore.
Superb! I've gained a warehouse, and you've gained my gratitude.
Mind showing me what you're selling? See you later.
While roaming the slopes of Mount Gorgon, Geralt ran into a vintner who required a witcher's aid. Our hero plunged into the depths of the cave, which proved to be a Shalmar's lair. Geralt slew the beast, a feat for which a reward awaited. Pleased, the vintner was generous, and our hard-working witcher, richer by a few crowns, went on his way. And for the life of me, I cannot feed this Erendite like I want to. Three charges on it.
You scared me half to death, Drifter. What do they call you? What's your crest? Speak!
Name's Geralt. No crest, no motto, no plumed helmet even. I'm a witcher. Francois Le Goff, I presume. Your betrothed sent me. See, you've been gone a while, so you've got her worried.
Well, indeed, for Grotore is a most fearsome beast. I must prepare properly for battle.
By napping outside the cave for a fortnight?
I have tarried a bit, true, but the delay is done. My word I gave, thus the beast shall die.
Wouldn't happen to need any help, would you?
I don't know. After all, I did swear a solemn oath to...
Deposit the beast's head at your beloved's feet. No mention of you killing it all by yourself, though.
All in all, I suppose you're right. We must fight side by side, then. For honor.
Letter from Jacquette to Francois. My darling Francois, already a week has passed since my eyes last behold your fair visage. My beloved, I know I know important knightly matters keep you, yet pray tell, my sweet, how you can bear the horrible agony of our separation. Mama, ask every day when you shall next pay us a visit, and Papa says he simply cannot wait until you at last kneel before him and ask for my hand. I explained to him how horribly busy you are, but in truth I too desire with all my heart and strength to see you kneel so and tell you at long last, yes, 1,000 times yes, yours always and forever, Jacquette. Dear Jacquette, I have thought, and finally have it. In order to fully deserve you, I must first prove to myself I am worthy of the tremendous honor of winning your hand. Know that I have sworn a chivalric vow not to rest until I bring you on a silver platter the head of Gratora, the hideous monstrosity which none so far has bested. Do not seek to find me, but instead watch for my glorious return as a proven monster slayer. Very respectfully yours, Francois. Okay, he is... I need to catch up with him before he gets a little ballsy and starts attacking Gratora without me.
But I should be the one to lop off its head.
We gotta kill it first. Strange. No sign of Gratori.
Perhaps we should turn back? If there's no beast, there's no beast. Damn shame, but we tried.
Not so fast. Let's take a look around. Impressive. You'd think you were in a winter garden. Impressive. You'd think you were in a winter garden. Cradle filled with children's shoes. Had I ever seen a collection this grotesque? Bones. Small skull. Fontanelle's not completely closed. An infant. About a year, maybe. Various sundries. Some tools. Clear as day now. Tori must have taken her from its victims. Seems to be off somewhere, probably feeding. Need to lure it.
Very well. To work then. Gods, thy will be done.
Relic to oil, dimeridium bomb, and igni. Happened like this. A nasty rain caught me while I was out in the woods, so I thought to myself, I'll hide in some hollow, for God's forbid I get soaked through and catch a cold at my age. So I crawled to a cave, and there inside something roars at me, tore out of there so fast, the wind had dried my coat by the time I got home. Veli Stale, herbalist. No one knows exactly when this brigand called Grator first made its home in the caves at the foot of Mount Gorgon. Spriggans usually prefer isolated back. Grator seemed to have taken a liking to grottos, giving rise to his nickname. The monster was quite well known among Beauclair's knights, who often talked of it as a potential source of great glory. None were particularly eager to actually engage the monster in combat, however. None, that is, except for the young knight Francois.
By my troth, the damned brute was sturdy. I'm grateful, Witcher. You aided me greatly.
Why the challenge? Couldn't have gone after something less formidable? A werebub, for instance?
Why? For the beast must match in ferocity the very ardor of my affection, and...
You're blushing, Sir Knight.
Oh, it's my betrothed. The thing is, she champs at the bit to get married when we've not known one another but 2 years. So I vowed to slay Gratory. Thought it would buy me time to battle such a beast. Why, it could take months.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the rate you were going. High time you returned to Beauclair, brave knight.
Nay, nay. The head of this beast is a trifle, wholly inadequate to express the love I harbor for my betrothed. The world awaits. To honor her, I shall cut down another, more terrible beast.
Take my advice. Grab the damned head and cut the shit.
You're blind to my predicament. Once I return, I will have no recourse. She'll track me to the nearest shrine, while...
Shut up and listen. Crests, scrap metal armor, swooning damsels. All that's nothing to do with hunting monsters. Witches' work. Damn hard, dangerous, and thankless work that you're just not cut out for. Want to prove your valor? Go back to your betrothed and be honest. Tell her you're not ready to marry.
You do not mince words, Master. In Tucson, one might demand satisfaction upon trampled ground for a lesser slight. Yet, there is truth in what you say, I cannot deny. I survived with my life by a hair. It is time I returned home.
Run, Roach. Whoa! Come on. Move it.
Patrolling on an empty stomach. Damn it. Watch where you step, fool.
Vedian Docas, Enkets.
Got good news, madam.
As do I. Francois has returned. We marry in a week's time. Prenuptial teachings at the temple tomorrow. Dress fitting the next morn. Then a tour of the wedding venue. I have never been so happy.
Congratulations, I guess. Wish you happiness, both of you.
And good fortune to you on your path. Your reward, master. And Godspeed.
One force.
Feet as cold as ice. There it is. With Geralt's aid, the young Francois managed to defeat the fierce Quatore, and thus fulfill the vow he had made, yet he showed an immense desire to postpone another vow, that customarily made in a chapel with one's previously betrothed at one side, but the witcher reasoned with the knight, and Francois returned to his heart's captor to begin preparing for the day they would wed. Meet the painter around noon by the western gate of the palace. One day Geralt got an unusual proposition. A portrait artist, inspired and delighted by the Witcher's singular appearance, asked if he would pose for a painting. Largely open to the varied experiences life offers, the Witcher agreed to model for the painter, though he later claimed he was driven primarily by desire to support the arts, an impulse laudable in and of itself. I suspect plain old vanity might have also come into play. The Witcher and the artist set off together for the countryside, where the beautiful landscape was to serve as the backdrop for the portrait. Okay, so I gotta go to the Beauclair Palace.
Long live Duchess Anna
The
Henrietta!
light is inopportune at the moment. Could you return?
Let's get this portrait underway.
I'm here.
Let us go. We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued. A work of mine, Turtle Dove O'er the Heath, hangs in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said. And fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters. And poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes. Pierre-Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. We'll continue on foot. Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby?
Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us.
My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
Man, of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my paints. I'm done for. Unless you would be kind enough to locate them?
Damn it. Sure you left them here?
Yes, right there. I'd prepared everything. Set it out. Ordered and organized.
Might have toppled downhill or something. Fine. I'll take a look around.
I think it is life that imitates art, and not vice versa.
Right you are, Fingal. Take Baron de Cordell for one.
Oh yes, that nose. He actually had a mage enlarge it.
Spilled paint. Reeks to high heavens of turpentine.
Courting his cousin.
Footprints. Clear, but curiously small. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. Got paint drops here, too. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. Got paint drops here, too. Neckers? Look like they might have been paints. The question is, why? Cave paintings. This here looks a bit like a Necker. Big blobs, what? A troll? Neckers depicting their victory over some trolls? That even possible? Necker propaganda? Paints. Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them. Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a Necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a battle scene to me.
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Unimportant. In any case, it's a good thing you found the basic colors. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a superior spot. We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tales.
No, no, no. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You could title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
Whoa! Slow now. Whoa. This the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course. The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at the... well, that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
No, it's real.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide.
Dearest Mummy! Ah! Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death.
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid! Interesting color palette. And the textures and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. Ah, I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Faster.
My brother gave me a sword.
I worked from dawn to dusk's last light. Give my...
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corvo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate to commemorate the moment.
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it survived, but it is here, and we've cause to open it today. And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I going to produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Cyperamento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
The history of Corvo Bianco. Corvo Bianco's origins have been lost to the mist of time. We have only a bare legend about the vineyard being founded by the owner of the Pomerol estate's son, who had been disinherited in exile with only a Carvanera sapling to his name. The modern history of Corvo Bianco begins with Master Bolius, who settled in the vineyard in his elder years. As a young man, Bolius had headed a division of sappers which fought in the far north. For his service, he was made a noble and awarded a great deal of coin. He took to rebuilding Corvo Bianco with great zeal. He dedicated the most energy to planting a beautiful garden for his wife, thus starting the craze for the use of herbs which swept Toussaint at the time. After his wife, Bolius' second love was the olive tree, which is why he planted a great many of them all over Corvo Bianco. When Bolius' wife died, life lost its savor for him, and he began to think constantly about death. He sold his estate to Count Crespi, and the very day he signed the last piece of paperwork, he died. I've always liked to fill my days with industrious activity, and without a shadow of a doubt, I can say Geralt shared my predilection in this regard. We both prized any chance to toil to make the world a better place, differing only in that I usually used quill and harp to accomplish this, while Geralt did so with his sword. Yet on this occasion, it was Geralt who could bask in the satisfaction that a completed work of aesthetic excellence brings in its wake. When the renovations of Corvo Bianco were complete, Geralt was just as proud of himself as if he had strangled a Kikimor with his bare hands.
for all that work. The crook in your back wants your honey.
Scrub off.
The Duchess saw. But we know any drops heard of our wines.
Glowing. I see better.
Let's go see that portrait, and we'll probably take it back home and hang it on the wall.
Those muscles.
Greetings.
Geralt, there you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
It's nice. Shows a lot of, imagination. Don't recall undressing before posing, though. Some of the other details are a bit off, too.
Well, the imagination is an artist's chief tool.
Heard the same from a certain poet. He embellishes and invents, chiefly.
Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento, though I'd hardly call the price a bargain.
Indeed. Few have the sophistication to appreciate my technique. I sometimes go hungry as a consequence.
All right. At least this way I'll be able to control who sees it. Thanks.
Now drink us some thick and bring it right here.
Once they arrived at their destination, it turned out that some picnickers had occupied the vista the artist had chosen. To make matters worse, the artist's painting tools had disappeared, and the Witcher had to find them. In the end, he could finally get down to posing and was pained to learn that a portrait takes much longer to produce than he had supposed. He did not manage to grow thoroughly bored, however, thanks to a griffin that swooped in unannounced. Geralt had to defeat the beast to save both the painter and his emerging work. He received payment for posing, and he learned he would be able to view the finished portrait the next day in the main town square. Geralt finally saw the work that generated quite a lot of interest from the inhabitants of Beauclair. As it turned out, in the portrait, the painter had rendered the Witcher in the nude. Though explicit, the representation was flattering. To this day, I remember the sheepish grin on Geralt's face as he related the tales to yours truly. Let's go talk to the Ducal Camerlingo. See if we've done anything that will warrant any sort of reward.
Under Duke Raymond's rule, such troubles were solved.
Witcher act always with reason.
Greetings.
Kottelsuchs and Blunderbuss.
Greetings, knight.
Wouldn't mind a glancey.
Okay, so there's nothing. No reward yet. Some of these I have not read.
Well, see you later.
Go in peace, fair knight.
Alright, so we still do have some undiscovered locations here that need attention. While seeking a better respite amidst the forest that covered the slopes of Mount Gorgon, Geralt ran into a dead man and a pack of Barghest. Once he had dealt with the spectral canines, he decided to search the pockets of the unlucky traveler. The Witcher hoped he would find something that would shed some light on the deceased's last days alive. The dead man proved none other than a treasure hunter. That, at least, is how I would like to think of and term him, for there is no honor in speaking ill of the dead. His notes indicated that he and some others of his ilk had dug up an elven cemetery near the village of Fox Hollow. However, they had dug up one jewel too many. When the feelings of guilt and shame had grown to be too much, and the expedition's member had begun, one by one, to disappear, Alistar Carnarvon, for that was our deceased hero's name, had decided to inform a group of scholars at Castel Graupion of his find. Said scholars, he believed, would look to the ancient necropolis and extend their care over it. Alas, he had never managed to reach the scholars, and the treasures he had left behind in the camp were now ownerless.
I won't go. I simply...
Do you know the colors I will see?
Show me what you got.
Scroll from Kreven Karn, illegible. Then the eldest of the Ain Seed ends the speech in which he tells of the dead's deeds. The body, covered in a shroud, is then placed on a pyre made of alder wood. Next, a further layer of wood is placed on top. When the pyre is finished, the mourners gather around and form a circle. The eldest of the Ain Seed places a torch to the pyre. Then 5 members of the dead's family each do the same. The fire is fed throughout the night until the first glimmers of dawn. The mourners then part and go to their homes, only to return. Illegible. Then the remains of the pyres are raked, and bone fragments are sought out amongst the ashes. The eldest places the bones in an urn previously filled with ash from the pyre. The urn is then sealed and placed in the family's chamber in the burial grounds. Then the mourners go. Letter written in Elder Speech. Greetings to you, dear mother. I write to you now just before Midyat, as I promised. I hope my letter finds you in good health. Very little of note has happened here since you left. Despite your warnings, we get on well with the humans. They are so fascinating in the way they obsess over death. Saelfion, if you can imagine it, admitted to Blathanad she really likes Arnaud, the miller's son. Personally, I have nothing against this, but I know where you are, in Dol Blathanna. That would be unthinkable. I went to visit Malsheslan's grave recently. Yes, I know you won't approve of that. Since when do the Ain Seed care for the graves of their loved ones? Yet living among people necessarily means we take on some of their customs. While there, I happened to learn the humans plan to build a village near Kreven Karn. This is difficult. For personally, it does not bother me, but Blathanide, you know her, began screaming about how this was a profanation, and they have countless other perfectly good spots where they could build their village. I hope this will not grow into some larger conflict. We have it so good here. The rest of the letter is illegible. Geralt found the camp as well as a field that had been dug up thoroughly. Strewn about it were the urns and remains of elves who had been buried there. The chest Alistair had left behind contained no burial jewels. It was, however, full of gold and highly interesting diagrams. The Witcher concluded he was free to take it all, and in doing so he would not disturb the Ain Seid, who lay there in eternal slumber. Tufo monster. We can either do the Tufo monster or we can do some of the Camerlingo quest, because I think we're near here. Yeah, there's a couple nearby. Shit!
Drink, I thank you once more for saving my mother.
He was almost dead by the time I came up here. Orders for Edgar Cisodoy. To Edgar Cisodoy. I'm sending you one of those miscreant knots. This particular blood Skrek attacked our lads near Fox Hollow, sent 6 of them, and 1 dog off to push daisies. I was about to hack him apart on the spot, then I thought, this harlot's brood deserves a more thorough hacking than I can give. So use those famous scissors of yours and trim him of all protuberances and danglies, then cut out his innards and make origami. Just be sure to tie him up good before you get to work. Even with his hands tied, that maggoty mutt swung so hard, teeth came pouring out of Bolof's jaw like crowns spilling from a full pouch cloth.
Slower.
How you like that silver?
Vendegilder's journal. This Han's mighty odd. All these grizzled men with hard eyes, lads with hundreds of murders under their belts, and near half of them sit around all evening scribbling in a journal or writing letters. Where'd all these blasted scholars come from? My lord managed to beat letters into my head before I seduced his daughter, and he chased me off. But someone like Sylvain Blacktooth, how'd he master the art of writing while traveling with a circus and sweeping dung from the cages? Just lately I was sitting guard with 3 other lads, and instead of sipping on wine, farting into the fire, normal stuff, they all sat there quietly jotting things down into their notebooks. What really scares me is that maybe Starling Stragan likes the company of literates of this sort, and I'm going to have to start a journal myself. Well, we're botched. Just learned some white-haired half-man, half-monster took out Starling. Just diddling great. Now we need to get our bums out of this swamp before that freak gets us too. If some other beast doesn't first, without the Han's support, tough times are ahead.
Move it! That's a chunk of distance. Move it! Slow. Whoa.
Kill the corpse gobbler! With Starling's dragon! All together! On three! Love it! For you this day!
Bad idea.
Watch out! Sheath that blade.
A job is like a lady. You can always
That's
get the new one.
dead.
Speedy Eugene's journal. If our fearless leader Starling Stragan is going to write everything down in his notebook, why then I'll do the same, and I've plenty to write about. For the way we pillaged and plundered the Silver Salamander till it looked a pile of dank diarrhea was positively epic. Whole Hans had been fixing for ages to make a jaunt over to that tavern. For how long can you sit, twiddling your thumbs at a place as foul as the ruins of Arthok? Water up to our ankles, fungus everywhere, and the wind blowing so fierce our bums pucker. Why the dead long diddle stick around? So we didn't. We got our doo-doo together and went to work, hit them so hard before they figured out what was going on. Half of them had already been hacked apart. It was over in a flash. In fact, we got so carried away, not a living soul was to be seen when we were through, though it seems a few managed to scatter into the woods, including that blasted Nilfgaardian owner, but we'll see to tracking down survivors later. Meanwhile, we'll drink a bit, sing a bit, and then head out for a good hunt. So there you go, my memoir, signed me, Vice Head of the Hans, Speedy Eugene.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
What?
Whoa, whoa, calm now.
Deliver us from evil.
To be honest, every last man Jacques in these parts has but wine and women on the brain.
The prophet Libiota, king of the universe, all Toussaint constructs his monument. Do not stand idle, do not tarry. What should you do? Build. Love thy neighbor, yet be thou not overmuch affectionate in thy love, for thy neighbor might take this wrongly. Pearls of wisdom from the prophet, 65:3.
Say it, you're the Duke of this, the Duke of that, you're the Duke of Dog Dittle. I'm going to save with my hands. Watch your stones.
Fetch this dead sweep up here.
To be honest, every last man Jacques in these drink. Give me a drink.
Best cure for the beast, a witcher.
Morrow, Green. Hail, get out! Witcher! Witcher! A word might I have? Ad Varian! Just what we needed! A witcher with stones of granite! That Blede Hansa has terrorized this land too long! Thank you for your aid, Vatgan!
A Nilfgaardian a long way from home. And he's not a soldier. Don't see that often.
Warfare did not appeal to me. My Vather, however, meaning my father, he fought at Sodden Hill. Survived despite a lung run through with a spear, and a right hand that went missing. Yet the injuries meant he could no longer serve in the Impera Brigade. Here in Toussaint, the climb and wine bolster healing, and a war pension paid in Nilfgaardian florins buys much. An inn, for instance. I thank you, Witcher, for your aid, for recovering my patrimony. Ard Dank.
Show me what you're peddling, Nilfgaardian. So long.
Blede Hanses. It's good you drove them off, Witcher.
Tough times. Tough indeed.
Deadly thirsty.
Pathetic.
What magic?
Starling Stragan's orders. Speedy Eugene's taking the inn, meaning his whole gang's probably already blind, bum-botching drunk. Keep a watch on the high road, for if any knights or guardsmen go at them, there won't be anything left to clean up. I promise you next time you'll be the ones to have fun, and Eugene's crew will have to guard your backs. We might raid Coronata soon. Winches and wine and plenty there, so you'll get yours, Starling. Looks like no building here.
What's going on there?
Oh, man. let's go see the Ducal Camerlengo, and it'll be stream. We got an hour and a half on this stream, but this is part A from when it crashed earlier. So I know that I've been streaming for over 2 hours and probably going on 3 hours total. So I'm going to call it here as soon as we turn in our reward to the Ducal Camerlengo. I expect to probably get like 500 crown, probably for doing what he asked.
I wonder.
Greetings, Knight. My clerks have brought word of heroic deeds on your part. Please accept this compensation for your toil, good sir.
200 crown. Oh well.
Well, see you later.
Go in peace for a night.
Alright, folks, I'm going to call it here. I've got some inventory management to do, take care of. But we have knocked down the quest log to a manageable main quest where children toil, toys waste away, and the 2 foe monster contract. So when we come back, which is going to be probably later this weekend because I've got work tomorrow. But after that, I got the remainder of the weekend to commit to finishing up The Witcher 3 here. When we come back, we'll finish up these quests, and then we'll push the story forward. Alright, guys. Peace out. Have a happy 4th of July.